Hello, everyone. Right there in the middle of my screen is the target that we're going to be shooting. That white target is 12 inches wide by 16 inches tall. Okay, so let me back this out and I'll tell you guys more about what I'm doing today. Go back to one power. Okay, very good. So we are shooting that at 65 yards. Okay, so you guys aren't going to be able to see it get hit, but you will hear the dings. And today, what I'm specifically doing is I'm testing out or comparing my accuracy with the G43 versus the G19. All right, so Glock 43 versus Glock 19, both of these aftermarkets. The triggers on the Glock 43s are noticeably heavier. I believe they're 8-pound triggers. The standard triggers, I think, on the G19s are lighter. I think they're closer to 5 pounds. I don't remember the exact numbers, but I know that they're lighter. And then this one over here is particularly light. Okay, and I haven't modified this. It's just how it came out of the package with the Glocks. With the Glock triggers, there's what we call the Glock lottery. All right, you can get a whole bunch of Glock OEM triggers, and there's going to be a variance from one to the other as far as the trigger pull. So this is a G19 that I selected that has has the lightest, smoothest trigger pull that I happened to get just by random chance, and we're going to compare it to the G43. On my G43s, the triggers all kind of tend to be the same. And also what I'm doing here is I'm continuing to test the Shield Arms Z9 magazine. This is a 9-round magazine, all right, as opposed to the Glock OEM, which is 6 rounds. The way they did that is by making the magazine all steel instead of a steel inner with plastic outer shell. So by doing it all steel, they created more space inside the magazine. They also have the little pinky extension. So I've been testing this out for about a week now. I'm going to continue to test it. I've actually requested more mag. I'm trying to do a bulk purchase basically from Shield Arms. I still got to pay for it, but I'm trying to get a bulk purchase, make a bulk purchase where maybe I can get a better price if I buy a lot of them, so I can test these out. So what I'm going to do is first I'm going to shoot the G43, then I'm going to do the G19, then back to the G43, then back to the G19, and then we can kind of get like a little comparison between the two. So I'm going to put 9 plus 1 in the G43, and I'm going to do the same thing with the G19. I'm going to limit that to 10 rounds. So let's load this up. And I am shooting Tula steel case. It works pretty good with it, this Z9 magazine. Put one in the chamber. Okay. All right, so we're at 65 yards. The target is 12 inches wide by 16 inches tall. So it's obviously it's smaller than a man-sized target. So we're well inside center mass. 3 out of 10. That tends to be my average with this G43 at that 65 yards. Sometimes my best I think is 4 out of 10. Sometimes I'll get 0 out of 10. I usually get at least 2 out of 10, but usually I come in at 3 out of 10. All right, so 10 rounds in the G19. Let's see how I do with this guy. Five out of 10. Go back to the G43. Sometimes it's a little hard to tell if you're full in there because the steel cases are so dark. The brass is obviously a lot easier to see. But yeah, I got 9 in there. All right, 65 yards again. Whew. Two out of 10, not my best. May need to adjust this a little bit to the right because I really have to crank over a little bit on that. Just one notch to the right. I'm not going to shoot that again now, but I'm really having to work hard to pull that trigger over. So we got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. All right, and 65 yards. Wow, I really sucked that time. But hey, it is what it is. Interesting. So yeah, I mean, on average, I am shooting better with the G19, but interestingly, not by a whole lot. I think the first round that I did was probably a better indication, where I got 3 out of 10 here and 5 out of 10 on the G19. Those, because I've done this test a whole bunch of times. I mean, just even today I've done it a whole bunch of times. That tends to be more of the average that I'm seeing. With the G43, I'm hitting 3 out of 10. With the G19, I'm hitting 5 out of 10. And then, I mean, there's variations in between. You know, sometimes it's just going to be off. So anyway, very interesting so far. I'm pretty pleased with this Z9 magazine. I've done previous videos. I think on the first day that I was testing it, in the morning was working good. I did start having a few jamming problems later on, but it was also like raining at that time, and I don't know if that was a factor. I don't know if maybe there was just a dust buildup in the magazine. I cleaned everything out. Other than that first day where I had, and those problems were all off camera. It was just me shooting it. Other than that first day, the magazine's been working really good. So there might be a little bit of a break-in involved. One of the things I've noticed is, where are you? Like over here where the magazine release hits it, that's been wearing in. The first day that I put in the magazine release from Shield Arms, because you gotta use their magazine release, because you need steel on steel. You can't have like a plastic magazine release and a steel magazine. Either both gotta be plastic or both gotta be steel. In the case of the Glock OEM, steel or plastic magazine release, plastic magazine, that's fine. But you can't have one steel, one plastic. So first day I was having some issues with the release, but that's broken in pretty good. That's working decently. Let me see if I do it in my left hand. Is it releasing? Yeah, it's starting to release a lot better. It's not, there you go. So even just a couple of days ago, I was having some real difficulty trying to do this in my left hand and get a release. But that's breaking in. So I'm definitely seeing that there's a break-in period involved with this magazine over here. Other than that first day where I was having some jamming issues, and it was happening throughout. Like initially, it was happening with the second round, which was the first one out of the magazine. Then later on, it was happening with the 8th round. And then in none of the days after that did I have any issues. The only time I have noticed an issue is when I try to be really careful to make sure I slingshot this, right? When you put the magazine in, when you pull this back, you really gotta slingshot this, right? Make sure it. A couple of times when I tried to feed the first round off the magazine, I did have a feeding issue, but I mean I didn't have it while I was shooting, so I think that might be a user error problem, or maybe I didn't pull this back all the way and release it as crisp. Maybe there was a little bit of a ride down. I generally don't ride the slide down, but I think that was the issue. But other than that, it's been working good. I mean, so far I'm pleased. I'm going to continue to test this magazine now, and like I said, I'm trying to get more. But and of course, my tests are specifically with the Palmer 80 PF9 SS. Okay, that's what my tests are. My initial results that were maybe that the valve feed ramp was going to be hitting this, because it was doing that with my OEM magazines, but it's not. It's not hitting the front of the magazine. I mean, there's a little wear there, but I think that's just minor. First of all, it's the bullets hitting that as it feeds a little bit. But it's not an issue. I'm not having it. So that was the first thing, my first concern before I got the magazine, where I might have a problem there. But I'm not seeing that as a problem. You can see it's starting to wear in a little bit over here. But all that's good. All that wearing in, see there's a little wear over here. All that's going to make the magazine work better. So we're going to continue to do this and test this out. Thanks for watching. Make sure you guys are following me on all my channels, because I'm trying to stay ahead of the sensors. We got Safa, we got Absolute Guns, we got Pocono Shooting on YouTube, and then also on Odyssey we've got what am I over there? Pocono Tactical over there, and Odyssey spelled ODYSEE.com. All right, that's Pocono Tactical. And on Rumble, I am where am I over there? I'm Pocono Guns over there, and then I also got Huge Tube and Gunstreamer, and I believe I'm Pocono Tactical on both of those platforms. So thanks for watching. I'll talk to you all soon, and we will stay ahead of the sensors. Talk to you all soon.